Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever noticed how some days on the calendar just seem to act like massive magnets for world-altering history? Well, today we're diving into one of those incredibly dense dates, August 3rd. We're going to be exploring major August 3rd world events, and trust me, it is absolutely fascinating to see how a single 24-hour period has served as such a pivotal fulcrum for human history. So what could a 15th century explorer, a massive professional basketball league, and a literal marvel of modern naval engineering possibly have in common? It kind of sounds like a bad joke, right? But the answer is, they all trace their absolute biggest milestones right back to this exact same anniversary. To really wrap our heads around the butterfly effect of this one day, we're going to time travel through 4 distinct exhibits: redrawing the map, global sports, massive tech leaps, and modern crises. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with our first theme, how August 3rd has continuously redrawn the global map.
We're talking major shifts in power here. Way back in 1492, on August 3rd, Christopher Columbus set sail from Spain, embarking on a voyage that would permanently alter global geography. Fast forward to 1795, same date, and you've got the Treaty of Greenville, which effectively ended the Northwest Indian War and drastically changed the map by exchanging native land in the Ohio Country. Then we hit the dawn of the 20th century in 1914, a day that absolutely shattered the world map as they knew it.
Right, so August 3rd, 1914 marks the terrifying escalation of World War I. Germany formally declared war on France on this exact day. And get this, at the exact same time the continent was plunging headfirst into chaos, Romania officially declared its neutrality. That single day set off a chain reaction that would completely redraw the borders of Europe.
But, history also shows us just how incredibly fleeting those new borders can be. Take August 3, 1903. Macedonian rebels boldly proclaimed the Krushevo Republic, a total redrawing of local lines, right? Well, it existed for exactly 10 days before Ottoman Turks laid waste to the town. It's a pretty stark reminder that while some borders last for centuries, others are erased almost instantly.
On the flip side, some lasting national identities were born on this day too. Niger, for example, officially secured its independence from France on August 3, 1960. It's now permanently cemented as their Independence Day. And fun fact, they actually celebrate Arbor Day on the exact same date. Oh, and it's a huge day for Venezuela as well, who celebrate their annual Flag Day every single August 3rd.
Okay, let's pivot to our second theme, triumphs in global sports.
Believe it or not, the very birth of the American intercollegiate athletic rivalry happened on August 3, 1852, when Harvard won a boat race against Yale. That is widely recognized as the very first American intercollegiate athletic event ever. Jump almost a century later to 1949, and the National Basketball Association, the NBA itself, was literally created on this day when 2 competing leagues finalized their merger.
But honestly, perhaps no athletic victory is quite as historically resonant as August 3, 1936. Picture the incredibly tense atmosphere of the Berlin Olympics. American athlete Jesse Owens won the 100-meter dash, famously defeating his rival Ralph Metcalfe. Owens' triumph that day? It stands as one of the absolute most powerful and defiant moments in the entire history of global sports.
Of course, on the flip side of triumph is scandal. Back in 1921, just one day after 8 Chicago White Sox players were acquitted in court for intentionally throwing the World Series, Major League Baseball stepped in. On August 3rd, Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis confirmed the permanent ban of the infamous Chicago Black Sox, completely prioritizing the sport's integrity over a legal ruling.
So, we've seen how August 3rd reshaped physical maps, but what about the tools we use to navigate them? We're talking a monumental leap from Columbus departing in those 15th century wooden ships all the way to August 3, 1958, when the USS Nautilus, the world's very first nuclear submarine, completed a submerged transit of the geographical North Pole. That is a breathtaking leap in human capability, all tied to the exact same calendar day.
And that brings us perfectly into our third theme, massive leaps in technology.
In 1977, the digital revolution basically heard its starting gun. The Tandy Corporation announced the TRS-80. Now, we take our laptops and smartphones totally for granted today, but the TRS-80 became one of the world's very first mass-produced personal computers. August 3rd effectively kicked off the era that would eventually put a PC in millions of homes worldwide.
The industrial era also hit some staggering financial milestones on this day. We're talking about a record-breaking $29.4 million fine levied against Standard Oil of Indiana on August 3, 1907. And get this, it was handed down by Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis. Yep, the exact same judge who banned the Black Sox. He slapped the massive corporation with that fine for illegal rebating. Even though it was later reversed on appeal, it was a totally unprecedented regulatory swing at a corporate monopoly.
Finally, let's move into our last section. Modern crises, but also incredible resilience.
August 3rd also carries some heavy, somber history. 617. That's the number of lives tragically lost on August 3rd, 2014, when a devastating 6.1 magnitude earthquake struck Yunnan, China. It was a massive natural disaster that also left more than 2,400 people injured. Just a very stark reminder of the unpredictable power of our planet.
Across completely different eras, this date highlights both the Earth's raw power and our own vulnerability. Back in 1936, a catastrophic fire basically wiped out the Russian settlement of Kirsha II, tragically killing 1,200 people and leaving just 20 survivors. Then in 1975, a privately chartered Boeing 707 crashed into a mountain peak in Morocco, resulting in 188 fatalities. And even just recently, on August 3, 2023, the absolute worst severe floods in modern history hit major parts of Slovenia.
And it hasn't just been natural disasters. In recent years, this date has hosted intense geopolitical friction and solemn tragedies. In 2014, it marked the beginning of the horrific genocide of Yazidis by ISIL. Fast forward exactly 5 years to August 3, 2019, and 600 people were arrested during election protests in Moscow, including opposition leader Lyubov Sobol. And tragically, on that exact same day in 2019, 23 people lost their lives in a mass shooting at an El Paso Walmart.
Yet, amidst all those darker moments, the overarching narrative of human history is so often one of recovery, one of endurance, and we see that beautifully on August 3, 2004. On that day, the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty finally reopened her doors to the world after being closed for nearly 3 years following the September 11 attacks. It was this deeply symbolic, powerful moment of resilience happening right on this incredibly historic date.
So, I want to leave you with this thought. If one single day can host Columbus departing for the New World, the literal creation of the NBA, the first nuclear submarine voyage, and the dawn of personal computing, what in the world is August 3rd going to bring next? I hope this explainer showed you just how relentlessly significant every single day on our calendar truly is, and how interconnected our timeline can be. Keep learning, keep exploring, and we'll catch you next time.